طيب Sheikh, my question is about, are we allowed to live in a kafir country? And if it's yes, then how can we apply that with the hadith of Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم, إني بريء من جلس بين ظهراني كافر, plus the ayah of Surah An-Nisa when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says إن الذين توفاهم الملائكة ظالمي أنفسهم قالوا فيما كنتم قالوا كنا مستضعفين في الأرض قالوا ألم تكن أرض الله واسعة فتهاجروا فيها. And you know this ayah, of course, Sheikh, you know this ayah was revealed on the Muslims that were living in Mecca in the time of Medina. Thank you very much.
Did I make a problem, Sheikh?
Huh?
Did I make a problem?
No. Okay. First of all, yeah, brothers and sisters, as I have said, don't ask the wrong question. You need to ask the right question. So if a person is starving to death and he has no option but to eat haram food, he cannot ask the sheikh, is it allowed to eat haram food? Of course he will say to him what? What is he going to say? It's haram. Yes? But the sheikh should be smart enough to say to him, why are you asking? Do you have any other option? And then he will say no. The other option is not to eat and then die. Then why are you asking? If there is no option, don't ask. Clear? So always ask the right question. What did you want to say?
I think we have options for moving outside of Norway.
You, Allah yahdik, you jumped. اصبر Allah يرضى عليك.
Sorry, I'm raised that.
الله يهديك. الشباب ايش نسوي؟ طيب. So always ask the right question. Yes. Uh-huh.
It might be not.
No, he cannot suppress it. So he, yes.
I thought you were finished.
No. Okay. طيب. So always ask the right question. Is it allowed to eat haram meat because I have no option but to eat it? خلاص, you have no option, just eat it. طيب. So this is one thing. The question is, are we allowed to live in non-Muslim countries now while some of us have no option but to live in non-Muslim countries? And maybe some of us have the option to live in Muslim countries. This is the correct way of asking it. صح? Because some people have no option. هذا أليكس, هذا يوسف. طيب هذا نرويجي أبا عن جد. أبوه وأمه وجده وخاله وجميع أقاربه. طيب. So he is indigenous Norwegian. He will leave his family, his father, his mother, his children, if he has children, and so on. This is one. The other thing is, now most of the Arab countries and Muslim countries do not accept mass immigration from anywhere in the world. Agree? You will go and live in without naming in UAE مثلا. طيب, you will go and live there. After some time they will become angry of you and they will kick you out. So you cannot live there permanently because you need to have the citizenship of that country now because of the international law setup. طيب? So this has to be taken into consideration as well. The third point is, are we asking 250 million Indian Muslims to leave India and to go to Saudi Arabia to work there because India is a kafir country and Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country? Or are we going to ask them to go and to live in Egypt because Mursi is there? This will never happen. Agree? Can this happen?
Impossible.
It is impossible to happen. And then we will ask 50 million Chinese, Muslim Chinese, and 25 or whatever Filipinos, and so on. So the setup now, the international setup, is different from the classical setup that we are used to. This is one thing. The other thing is the ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ ظَالِمِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. Those whom the malaika, the angels, are taking their lives in a state of what? In a state of dhulm on themselves, oppression on themselves, which means that they are unable to practice their religion whatsoever. Okay? Or most of the practices of their religion. Then the malaika will say to them, أرض الله واسعة ألم تكن أرض الله واسعة. The land of Allah Jalla wa Ala was wide enough for you to travel. Wasn't wide enough for you to travel? Which means that if they were to say, no, Ya Allah, it was not wide enough for us to travel. They were oppressed and they did not have anywhere to go. So two things. Oppressed in a way that they cannot practice their religion. And the second point is what? What was the second point? The land, they have other options. But the case now in most of the European countries, we are not that oppressed to a level that we cannot practice our religion or secure our religion. And the other thing is we do not have that many options to choose from, to leave this kafir country and to go to a Muslim country. Okay? Moreover, we know that during the time of Medina, when the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina, some Muslims were living in Abyssinia, which was considered to be what? As a kafir country. Al-Abbas came to the Prophet Ja'far ibn Abi Talib came to the Prophet ﷺ along with many of the Muhajirin to Medina. They came on which year? No, 7th year. After what? After Khaybar. Ja'far came, and after the conquer or the opening of Khaybar, the Prophet ﷺ said, I don't know, okay, to become happy for what? Is it for the return of Ja'far or for the conquer of Khaybar? So the Prophet ﷺ allowed them to live in Medina, in Abyssinia, while it was considered as Dar al-Kufr. While Dar al-Islam was there, because in Abyssinia they were practicing their religion and they were not oppressed to that level. Okay? Moreover, many companions traveled to kuffar countries after the death of the Prophet ﷺ in order to what? To propagate al-Islam. Yeah. So this is the answer, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair. That's it. Jazakumullahu khair. Barakallahu fikum. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.